Okay, now remind me again, what are we doing here? Because we are a town just like anybody else. Well, hold. Okay, you just want to see how we do things. Well, I think we do things like everybody else does. Now, listen, you make sure I hold my shoulders back because my mother would absolutely kill me if I'm on film without my shoulders held. See the difference? See, look, see the difference? And she would die. She would die a slow and painful death if I was on camera or film or whatever it is these kids use these days. Is this a phone? You're doing this on a phone. Okay, well, I guess it's not going to go very far. Well, I can remember when my sister Kitty was in Miss Mississippi. Oh, my mother would film her walking and make her watch. And my sister didn't even know it, swinging her arms, swinging her arms. And she'd go, look, Kitty, I'm telling you, you're swinging your arms. Because Kitty would be like, I am not swinging my arms. You leave me alone. I am a beauty queen. And she was like, well, you're not going to be a beauty queen. You're a soldier. You're a soldier right now. And so she filmed her. Honey, by the time my mama was done with her, most beautiful walk you've ever seen. Like she was walking on water. I'm not being sacrilegious. Not being sacrilegious, but it was a beautiful thing. I'm just going to quit looking. I'm just going to quit looking. I mean, Mama tried. Just put that on my tombstone. Mama tried, but she won't hold her shoulders back. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to have to let it go. I am. But anyway, so yeah, my sister, she did not win Miss Mississippi. She did not win, but it was all in the experience. All in the experience. Great things came from that. Great things came from that. She learned to dance from the apple from the Fruit of the Loom commercials. His name was Mallory. And she learned that an acrylic heel will elongate the leg. And the strippers do it. The strippers. I don't know if they have a more Christian name that they had rather be called. I think Tina Turner maybe called it a private dancer. But anyway, he lined up Miss Magnolia in Miss Tishomingo County, and he said, do you see this leg and this leg? And one had on a square heel. I was there, I was watching. Had a square heel, and one had a beautiful acrylic 4-inch heel. And he said, look at this long, beautiful leg, and look at this leg that just stops. And he said, ladies, if you want to win this pageant, you better get these long acrylic heels. And he said, so go where the strippers go. Go where they shop. And, well, my mother made me go to the Cheetah Lounge in Atlanta. Made friends with all those girls. I love them. Hey, girls, if you see this. Well, she said she didn't want Kitty to be seen going in or out because pageants are very, very competitive. And if they can't beat you on the stage, if they can find you walking into the Cheetah Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia, they'll use that against you and get you just kicked out. So, and Kitty was a fierce competitor. And so my mama said, you're going to have to do this for your sister. And I did, because I love her. So I went into the Cheetah Lounge and just met the nicest girls. The nicest girls. But I told them, I said, listen, I'm here doing some research for my sister. Where do you get your shoes? And they told me Fredericks of Hollywood. And that is where we got her shoes. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. What do you want to talk about? Because we can, I'll tell you anything about our town. I absolutely love it. I love everybody who lives here. And of course, you want to talk about dorms. It's one of my favorite subjects. I love dorm season. I love watching the girls get ready. I love watching the mamas go crazy. And, well, my girlfriend, Rebecca Norma Carroll, it is so important to her to have a great dorm season, mainly because her mother-in-law doesn't like her. Don't tell anybody I said that. Leave that out. No. Well, and Rebecca Norma Carroll can't come to terms. She keeps thinking, oh, there's going to be something I can do. There's going to be something I can do that's going to make her like me. There's nothing she can do. Well, her mother-in-law thinks that Rebecca Norma Carroll just married her son for the money. And she did. But she's still good to him. She's she's still good to him, and they love each other, and they have a beautiful family. 3 daughters. It's going to bankrupt them. But, and she has had 2 beautiful, beautiful dorm seasons with those first 2 daughters. But honey, this last one is going to put her in the grave, or at least make her beg for one. She'll be praying for a grave. And, well, her daughter wouldn't tell her mama who her roommate was and who she had chosen, because that's what's important. The first way to get to a good dorm, you have to have a good roommate. And what makes a good roommate is that roommate's daddy needs to be very uninvolved. He needs to be very busy running a business, making money. Just maybe he's just kind of given up. Maybe he just knows he's going to die broke and has just given up the fight. That is what makes a really good roommate, is a daddy that is just, oh, these girls are going to break me, them and their mama. And that's what you need. And so that's really what she was looking for. And, but she just wouldn't ever tell her mama who her roommate was. And finally, the week after her graduation, with no cords, she had to tell her mama that she had been hiding the mail and she'd been waitlisted at Ole Miss. And my cousin George Martin put in a call. She wasn't waitlisted. She was not. They don't have a wait list. It's not about everybody gets in. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, we're the hospitality state. We're not about to tell somebody you can't come here. But what happens is people think that they can just show up. And they had to do something to let people know, hey, you got to let us know you're coming. We need a head count. Do we need more dorms? What do we need to do? So they started waitlisting. Like every 10th kid that waitlist them, she wasn't waitlisted. She was not waitlisted. And George Martin called and said, you know who you waitlist? And they're like, who do we waitlist? And they're like, oh, Lordy, we're so sorry. So we got her off the wait list, but she didn't have a roommate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You don't have a roommate. Okay, great. You're going to be at Ole Miss, but you don't have a roommate. So I called my nephew's girlfriend, who is a DG. She's a DG at Ole Miss. Her grand bigs, great grand little, had a friend whose roommate was waitlisted for the honors college. We just put in a call to George Martin. George Martin, get this girl in the honors college out of this dorm, so that way we can be with this girl. And so that's how we got her a good roommate. And well, she's from Mountain Brook. And so Rebecca Norma Carroll called her and was like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. My name's Rebecca Norma Carroll, and I'm so excited that you're going to be rooming with Cecilia, Rebecca Norma Carroll, and we're going to have a great year. And yeah, what? Cecilia, Rebecca Norma Carroll's daughter. Yeah. And Rebecca Norma Carroll's mom is Norma Carroll, so Rebecca Norma Carroll. Cecilia, Rebecca Norma Carroll. You just keep. Do I need to talk slow? I mean, it's fine. But honey, that mama started trying to tell Rebecca Norma Carroll how it was going to happen. She was like, honey, let me stop you right there. She said, question number 1, do you have a tape measure in your purse? And the girl, why would I have a tape measure in your purse? She was like, listen, you can't tell me what to do unless you have a tape measure in your purse at all times. And I have a tape measure in my purse, in my console, and everywhere. And she said, and I have all the floor plans to every dorm. So I don't even know what dorm these girls are in. It doesn't matter. We've got floor plans working. And Rebecca Norma Carroll's grandmother was the head of the home ec department at Ole Miss. And she's actually the driving force between Ole Miss and Ole Miss dorm decor. And people don't know that. Rebecca Norma Carroll would take me and my sister Kitty up to Oxford to see her grandmother. And salt of the earth, mean as a buck. I was wearing horizontal stripes. And she said, oh, you just don't want a man? I just was wearing horizontal stripes. Kitty went for a second piece of cake, and she said, so close to swimsuit season. And her grandmother would say, I never want to tell someone I think that they've gained weight. So what she would do, instead of saying, I think that you've gained weight, is she would say, when are you due? Are you having a baby? Because somehow she thought that telling you, I think you look pregnant, somehow she thought that that was nicer than you've gained weight. And so she never let a chance slide to shank you from the side. But Other than that, she was a good woman. And she smoked. But everybody smoked back then. That wasn't a bad thing. It just, I don't even know why I said that. That was so rude of me to even bring up. Take that out. Take that out. I don't want anybody to think I'm ugly. I don't want anybody to think I'm being ugly. But, well, the beds in the bag started. And that, her grandmother wouldn't, I got a stray hair right here. Right here. Can y'all, I think they say, can y'all fix that in post? Can y'all fix that in post? That's so funny. Anyway, the bed in the bags started and girls started bringing them. And Target, people were driving to Memphis to Target to get them. And there was word that Target was like, oh, we can make a lot of money if we came to Oxford. Rebecca Norma Carroll's mama and grandmother stopped it. They were like, we will not have it. We will not have it. This is a proper ladies' college with cute boys, and we're not going to have that here. But it started as most things start. I mean, it was just, well, what if we did a custom dust ruffle? Oh, well, what if we lifted the bed a little bit? Oh, well, what if we lifted the bed so much we could stick a futon under there? Oh, let's bring in a refrigerator. Well, the refrigerator's ugly. What if we had Anthony build a custom cabinet? Oh, well, what if the custom cabinet was also your, nightstand? And then what if we continue just to lift the bed so high that it eventually you fit a custom sofa in it? And what if we moved the desk out? These girls don't need a desk. Why are they putting in a desk? I think it's just because the boys get a desk, they think the girls got to get a desk. What if we move the desk out? They can study at the library. They've got desks there. They've got desks in the classroom. Why do we need a desk everywhere these girls go? And then it was, what if we just move the desk out and we can make more of a seating area? Or we can make it, their vanity, or they're getting ready, because that's what's important, is how good they look in school. And I'll tell you when it went over the top was when my sister Kitty and I and Rebecca Norma Carroll started at Ole Miss. And originally my sister and I, we were going to room together because why wouldn't we? And no, we are not. Well, we started as identical twins, but as Kitty has gotten a little bit more work, okay, we're a little less identical, but I love her. But we decided that since Rebecca Norma and Carol and I were a little bit closer than Kitty and Rebecca Norma Carroll, we would have Kitty and Rebecca Norma Carroll room together, which suited me fine. I went to school to get a real degree. I got a real degree, and those girls were just getting an MRS. And honey, did they. Honey, did they. Again, that mother-in-law. And so when you got Rebecca Norma Carroll's mama and my mama together, bolster pillows, monogramming, appliques, they had to just sleep like this because they got the bed up so high that they had to sleep like this because they couldn't turn around because they got the bed up. And honey, that room was beautiful. They painted the ceiling blue. Mama got in there 2 days early and she painted the whole dorm room, just a beautiful color. And she wallpapered it. They tried to write her up, but she was like, what are you going to do? I've already got, it's the most beautiful room. And so it was gorgeous. And they said, oh, you can't, nail anything to the ceiling. And she was like, okay, well, you said nail. And so she screwed things in. And then they tried to say that was wrong, but Daddy's a lawyer. And so they got it all set up. So anyway, that's just, normal. We're just like everybody else. So that's just how we do it.